Since joining the club from Toronto FC in late July, defender Dan Gargan has made an immediate impact with the Fire. I had a chance to sit down with Gargan and talk about being traded, Philly cheesesteaks, and old school rap. Check it out on Touchline TV. Welcome to Touchline TV. I'm your host, Brendan Hannan. We're joined by Chicago Fire defender Dan Gargan. Dan, thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Dan, you joined the season, or joined the Fire mid-season, right after the All-Star break. What's the toughest adjustment coming in to a new team? What do you have to do as a player to mesh with the guys on the back line and sort of build yourself into the team?
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of adjustments to make when you move from one city to the next, and I'll certainly start there. Finding a new apartment, getting settled and into living, and for me, it's not just me. I'm moving with a fiance and a dog, and trying to get everyone settled, not just myself. And then add into that, you're here to perform and to do a job, and so you have to kind of take it, I think, small steps and try and knock stuff off your list. But certainly to come into a locker room, you're the new guy with surrounded by 30 other personalities and 30 other characters in a locker room that you need to kind of learn quickly and adjust to almost immediately.
You play a position that requires a certain level of bite. You've also scored a goal this year against your former club in TFC. What gives you the most joy as a defender? Is it taking a ball off a guy, taking a guy down, or scoring a goal? Like, what for you is the highlight of a game?
Certainly taking a ball off a winger, who's coming down the line and going back the other way with it is one of my favorite things to do. Obviously as a defender, but threading a ball for a forward is definitely a great feeling. But obviously the name of the game is to score goals. So anytime you get an opportunity, especially as a defender, because you're not in that position to score goals very often, when you have the opportunity and you get to bury one, that's a pretty good feeling too.
Ball off the post in San Jose probably killed you a little bit.
Yeah, that was frustrating. I had my patented open the book and closed it, and I was just a bit unlucky. So it happens.
Yeah. You played high school ball in Philadelphia with another guy who is a professional, Jeff Lorenowitz with the Colorado Rapids.
Yep.
As high schoolers at Chestnut Hill Academy, what did you ever think that you would play professionally? Was that ever the goal?
Jeff's been one of my best friends since we were younger, and grew up playing together. And I think that I can probably speak for any little kid that plays a game and plays it with intensity and passion, and why not continue to compete, and if you can, do it. I think that I probably would have rather gone to the NBA, but my height held me back a little bit. That and my jump shot, but I think that there was something. I certainly had a desire to continue the game because of my love for it and my passion for it, and luckily, I had the opportunity.
When talking about Philly, so dinner time comes around, you're forced to make the decision. Are you going Philly cheesesteak or deep dish Chicago pizza?
That's an easy decision for me. I'm taking a cheesesteak for sure.
Are we going whiz and wit, or what's the standard? What's your spot?
Well,
in Philly?
I'd like to say on record that I started a trend in Philadelphia, which is American whiz with, which is both cheeses, American and whiz. I mean,
sounds healthy. It's
very healthy, and then you do the same thing on the fries and get the fried onions on the fries with the cheese. It's magnificent. So next time you're in Philly, I highly, highly recommend it.
Inside the locker room, there's a lot of music before training, after training, before games, after games. We've been inundated with a lot of Lil Wayne, or Wheezy, as I like to call him. What are some of the jams? Some of the jams you put on for the guys? I think there's a lack of old school rap in there. So what are you putting on?
Yeah, you know what? I'm trying to I'm trying to rotate the selections. You know, Sean's heavy on the Wayne, Ja's heavy on the Drake. You know, I'll deal with both those guys. I can't say that I dislike either of them. I'm a fan of both, but I also like a wide array of music. And luckily, I got the spot right next to the stereo, so I have some input there. So actually this morning we had on a little Frank Sinatra to start the day,
all right.
Followed by a little G Love, and then where did we go after that? We before we went out, we had the Jig Man on. So I mean, it's a wide array, and I feel pretty confident that I'm trying to, you know, open these guys up to some new musicians.
Solid. That's Touchline TV with Dan Gargan. Dan, thanks for joining us.
No problem, Bren.
Cheers.